Hello students. Today I am going to discuss on the topic Introduction to Rural Market for the subject Rural Marketing for class SYBMS. The contents which I am going to discuss is the definition of rural marketing, scope of rural marketing, features of rural marketing, factors which are relating to rural marketing, and the problems and the challenges faced in rural marketing. Let us understand what is rural marketing. The definition of rural marketing states that it is a two-way marketing process. It content now encompasses inflow products into rural areas for production or consumption purposes and the outflow of products to urban areas. In simple words, we can say rural marketing means marketing activities in the rural areas where favorable infrastructure may not be available. Rural marketing and urban marketing are identical as regards their basic marketing structure. However, rural market and rural marketing have special features and problems as compared to urban markets. Let us understand the scope of rural marketing. The following points highlight the scope of rural marketing in India. The first point is higher purchasing power. We see that there has been increase in the purchase power of rural population due to increase in economic activities during the planned rural development. The second we observe is there is a change in the rural marketing. This is because there has been increase in demand for durable and non-durables like table fans, radios, soaps, etc. by rural consumer. Now this has provided a ready-made market for the producers and it helped in the expansion of rural market. The third is media exposure. Before, only outdoor media was the medium to attract rural consumers, but now, due to information about new products is given through network programs on TV, outdoor publicity and mobile advertisements are also available to the rural consumers. The next is decision making. Today we see that women in rural areas are beginning to take fast decisions for purchases. Study reveals that 72.3% decisions are taken jointly in the family. With education and mass media, the role of children is also changing. The next is growing urbanization. Today we see in rural India is characterized by growing urbanization. Marketers can now introduce products designed specifically for rural consumers as there has been better understanding of rural consumers and his habits. We see that in infrastructure facility also there is a substantial increase in the improvement of infrastructure facilities. This has given tremendous opportunities for marketers as now they can reach rural buyers and communicate more effectively about their products. We see that there is a rise of alert buyers. Literacy level of rural India is being steadily increasing with the launching of adult literacy scheme, and that has resulted in the rise of alert buyers. Then we see that opinion leaders are also playing an important role. Opinion leaders help in interpretation of information to help them in arriving a correct decision. So we see that these are the points which is highlighted in the scope of rural marketing. Let us understand the features of rural marketing. The very first is large and scattered market. The rural market in India is vast and scattered and offers a plethora of opportunities in comparison to rural sector. It covers the maximum population and region, and thereby we see that the maximum number of consumers are from rural areas. That's why there is large number of consumers which we can target in rural areas. The next is low standard of living. This is one thing which is of major concern, that the consumer in the village has a lower standard of living. The reason is low literacy, low capita income, social backwardness and low savings. We see that there is a diverse social cultural background. This is different in different part of the country which bring diversity amongst rural areas. We see that there is a changing demand pattern. There is a new and growing demand for toiletries, ready-made garments, cosmetics, packaged foodstuffs, etc. This change is due to increase in the rural income. Credit facilities are also being extended by public sector banks through Kisan credit cards, which help the farmers to buy seeds, fertilizers, and even consumer goods on installment basis. Then we see that the infrastructure facilities like roads, warehouses, communication systems are inadequate in rural areas. Hence, the physical distribution become costly. We see that the media reach is also limited. The reach of the print media in rural areas appears to be very poor except in certain pockets of the country. It is estimated that the reach of the print media is 10%, followed by TV, which is 31%, radio 32%, and cinema 33%. When we discuss about the communication facilities, we see that as per the data published in the Indian Express, about 20% of the 6 lakhs villages are without telephone facility even today. This includes states like Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Assam, Orissa, and Andhra Pradesh. Last is the rural electrification, which has been going on a big way. According to the available information, we see that 88% now have electricity connection. The central government has created an organization called Rural Electrification Corporation with the sole idea of financing rural electrification projects. So these are some of the features which are highlighted as points in features of rural market in India. I hope you understood this. Let us understand what are the factors contributing to the growth of rural marketing. First is green revolution. We see that there is a technical breakthrough has taken place in Indian agriculture. Rural India have derived considerable benefit from green revolution. Today, rural India generates 185 million tons of food grains per year and the substantial output of various other agriculture products. Then we also see that there is a creation of new employment opportunities where we see that self-employment policies with the assistance from the bank has become a great success stories in the rural areas, which is a very, very positive thing happening in rural marketing. Then the expectation revolution among rural masses, we see that more than the green revolution, the revolution of rising expectation of the rural people influenced the marketing environment of rural India, which has brought a powerful change in the environment dynamics. Then we see that today there is a favorable government policy which supports the rural development in terms of giving all kinds of financial assistance to the rural areas. Various measures like tax exemption in backward areas, subsidy, concession, incentives, assistance, and literacy drive in rural area has brought a rapid growth in the rural market. We see there is a literacy growth where we see that the literacy rate is increasing in the rural areas. Nearby 45% of Indians are literate now. Literacy level in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh are 38.4 and 41.6 respectively. So we see that there is a major increase in the literacy rate. There is also a rising disposable income, which is a very good sign in the rural market, which has led to attraction of higher standard living, where in rural market the standard of living of people has raised. Various kinds of market efforts are being taken to increase the growth in rural market. Today, the media reach also have spread across in rural market, where we see that the spread of cable television and other form of mass communication media has helped in better marketing in rural areas. So all these have contributed to the growth of rural market, which in fact has helped the rural market to flourish and prosper. Let us discuss about some of the problems which is faced in rural marketing. The first is underdeveloped people and underdeveloped market, where we see that the agriculture technology unfortunately has not been that great to bring a development in the rural areas, where the rural consumer is also somewhere comparable to the urban counterpart. We see they are not that good enough. But there are large areas and group of people who are still not that techno savvy, and also lack of literacy is also one reason because of which this is the major problem. The next is lack of transportation problems, that is lack of infrastructure facilities in the rural areas, where we find that many parts in the rural India have only kacha roads, and many part of rural interiors are also totally unconnected by rural roads. There are many languages which has also led to confusions and made the rural marketing a little complex. Communication problem, where we see that communication infrastructure, which is consisting of post and telegrams and telephone, is quite inadequate in rural areas, which has led to inadequate communication, which has posed many hurdles in rural marketing. Warehousing problem is also one problem which has been faced due to lack of proper storage facilities. The products get deteriorated. There is lack of market organization and staff, due to which we see that there is lot of chaos happening. The product position is also not done properly. The hierarchy of markets which is there, that is not properly organized. We see that there is a vast and unspread market which is still not exploited and explored by the rural marketers, which has led to not exploring the opportunities to the optimum level. Then due to low standard of living, there is low per capita income in rural areas, which need to be developed. There is also non-availability of dealers, because of which the marketing distribution is not up to the mark. So this is some of the problems which has been faced in rural marketing. This problems is not very difficult to tackle. With proper strategy, we can overcome this problem and we can have a better rural market in future. So with this, I end the topic. I hope the concept is very clear to you all. Thank you, students, for patiently listening. I hope the concepts are very clear to you. Thank you once and all